Shortly after our previous podcast aired, our guest announced his next fight, so we felt like it was noteworthy enough to bring him back to discuss his upcoming bout with Frank Mir. We'd like to welcome back two-time world champion Steve U.S.S. Cunningham.
Welcome to TITLE Unboxed. With more than 40 years of experience in the fight game, our host, Doug Ward, will be covering every corner of the ring as we get comfortable between the ropes. We'll talk with both the lesser knowns and the legends, discuss boxing's rich history and current state of the game. We'll also look at today's latest innovations, equipment breakdowns, and insights you won't uncover anywhere else. Join us now as we take a look inside TITLE Unboxed.
Steve, good seeing you again.
Good being here, man. It's always great to be here with you guys.
You are our first return guest.
Where, Billy?
The first. But it's because your title is for two reasons. First, your title everything.
Yeah, right. Title everything.
And second, something come up after our last podcast that I felt like, yeah, we gotta go back and talk about this.
Yeah, something big, man. Something big.
Yeah. So obviously it's been announced and everything. So right after our last discussion, you got the call from Triller and their people to fight MMA UFC champion Frank Mir.
Yes.
So talk to us, how'd that come about?
I mean, literally, was it like the day after we did our interview?
It wasn't. Yeah, right after.
And that's the thing. That's why they say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. We got a call from a girl we know who managed, or I think she helps manages Erickson Lubin also, or something, or Action Point. And she's our girl. She works out at our gym, Caitlin. And she calls us like, hey, it's an opportunity for you guys. Answer this call when it comes in. And we get a call. And the guy's like, hey, listen, Antonio Tarver is not happening with Frank Mir. We want you to move in. You think that'd be possible? It's 4 weeks. We know it's short notice, but we know you in shape. Yep. We were like, yep. Iron some specifics out over a couple of days. And that was it. Here we are. So we put together a quick 4-week camp. And, because I'm always working, I'm always doing something. The main thing was just turn up the sparring, get some real sparring. And that was it. But we were already headed to the U.S. Nationals for our boys, Steve Jr. and
yeah.
So that was actually our first camp week almost, because that was a week and a half, because once we got there, I got some guys to work mitts with me, and I got some sparring from a couple of amateurs down there. So we stayed busy. And my son fought to the quarterfinals. Steve Jr. did. So he should be number 5, 152 in the nation right now. And we'll take it. We'll take it.
So your first week at camp was basically coaching and working out at the same time.
Yep. Me and my wife was coaching. That was the first for us too. Both of us being in the corner with our sons.
That's cool.
And he shined down there too. So we're very happy, man. We got done what I needed to get done for me: running, sprints, a little bit of weights, a lot of mitt work, some sparring, and then we continued it on. Went straight to Philly right after. And I just got back home to Pittsburgh last night from Philly. So I've been in Philly sparring Atif Overton. He was number 2 light heavyweight in the U.S. amateurs. Now he's a 1-0 professional. He's getting ready for a fight April 24th. And man, he gave me some good work. That was good work.
That's awesome. Well, ironic that this opportunity comes because your nemesis, Antonio Tarver, had to pull out of it.
Yeah. It's wild. That's the funny. I mean, not funny. Me and Tarver I had a lot of bad anger towards Tarver for failing, the drug test during our fight. I was really adamant about that, but literally, man, I think in late December, I sent his son a message. Because Tarver, his dad, had blocked me on all social media. So here we are about, almost 4 or 5 years later. And I sent his son a message saying, listen, your dad blocked me on all social media. Could you just send him to let him know all of that was water under the bridge? It's water under the bridge now. I still respect him. He still was one of my faves. Coming up is nothing, nice. Cool. So the son was like, yo, man, that's great, man. I appreciate that. So then I see months later, I see, wow, Tarver's fighting Frank Mir. So I'm thinking to myself, I was like, wow. I'm like, man, that's good for him because I know he hasn't fought in so long.
Right.
And I know fight, we need money. We want to get out there and do our thing. And I know he still was trying to get in there. So I was happy for him. I was very happy for him. And it made me think like, man, that opens the door for other fighters to fight MMA guys.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, interesting way to earn, interesting way to still showcase, to show you still got it. And then I get the call. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
It is, man. It is.
So so let's touch on that a little bit. How do you feel about, because there are a lot of mixed emotions about this. Fighters feel differently about it. You got Jake Paul and Ben Askren, Regis Prograis and Ivan Redcash. These guys, and you and Frank Mir are the undercard to the Instagram guy.
Yeah.
So, what kind of feedback have you been getting? How do you feel about that going into it? What's your perspective on that the Instagram YouTubers and that whole world?
I have an interesting, I think, perspective on that. I made the post that Jake Paul gave me a shout out during the press conference. He's like,
I saw that.
Me, Steve Cunningham, he's going to beat Frank Mir. I got respect for Frank Mir, but Cunningham's going to beat him, and I'm going to beat whatever the guy's name he's fighting. He's like, it's boxing versus MMA. So Ishe Smith, my brother, my bro, former world champ, who's very vocal about his opinions. He chimed in and was like, man, listen, he was like, Jake Paul's not on your level, man. He's not a boxer, and I just told him, like, listen, I think he's doing exactly what us fighters want. One of the guys who said, oh, they want to box or they want to know how it is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he needs to do, what we would ask for. I would tell a guy, well, if you want to do this, you want to be champ, go to the gym, work out, run in the mornings, put your body through that, spar, and get some fights. That's what Jake Paul's doing. Jake Paul's putting in the work. Hey, people, he hasn't fought a real boxer yet. No, he hasn't. But this is his amateur career, and it's entertaining. He's making money. It's entertaining. So even with that, above all of that, let's say he never fights a real boxer before. In his career, he's opened the door for real boxers like myself, Progress, and Red Catch, and whoever else is on the undercard to make money, to showcase. He has a big platform. He's sharing it with us. Hey, this is entertainment. Let them be the show. It's okay. But you got real fighters. Red Catch and Progress are fighting for a world title.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
You know what I'm saying? That's a very good fight. So I'm not mad at Jake Paul. I actually applaud him because I know he's trained by BJ Flores, former, I think, 2-time title challenger. Yep. BJ not playing. BJ serious. BJ not going to let him play any games, half-ass a shortcut. And I see he's sparring real fighters.
Yep.
He's learning. He wants this, man. Jake Paul really wants to be a fighter, and he's doing what it takes. It's not his fault. He's famous before before boxing.
Like most fighters would be like, yeah, I'll take his following.
Right. Oh,
I'll take those numbers. Well, you said it though. It at the end of the day, I guess, regardless of what your perspective is, it is an entertainment business.
Right.
I mean, whether it's legitimate fighters, YouTubers, Instagrammers, however they get there, it's selling tickets. It's selling those pay-per-view numbers.
Yep. And that's what people want to see action. People want to see matchups. Hey, I want to see Jake Paul versus KSI. You know what I mean? And neither one of them were fighters, but they made millions. Yeah. Where you have fighters, real good fighters who've been fighting all their life, they can't make that type of money. Why? Because of fan base, man. This is one thing I'm explaining to my son, Steve Jr., who wants to go pro. I'm like, man, we need to build this fan base. Because that's where the money is.
Well, and it's all about social media. Love it, hate it, take it or leave it. It's about those social platforms.
Yes. And that's one thing Triller, the promotional company, they're all about. They want every post to go viral. They want this. They want to be seen. And that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. That's very smart.
That's where they're getting their viewers from. Well, you bring up the entertainment aspect. So how has this been? Because it is approached a little bit differently. I know Justin Bieber, there's some other performers on the card. Yeah. Snoop Dogg's heading the thing up. He's the MC of the event. How is this different than your typical boxing match in leading up and the marketing and all that? Has it been a different experience, or is it just pretty much the same business as usual?
It's pretty much the business, the same, but they are doing different things. It's just going to be a little bit more focused on some other things, more so, not more so than the fighter. Like, oh, we're worried about this and not boxing. We're worried about the fighters and we're worried about the performances. They're merging. I mean, it's entertainment, like you said. So they're merging the boxing and the rap or the music, which, I mean, they've already been tandem, hand in hand, So it's a great idea as long as they can do it right and keep it interesting.
Yeah.
And now with Snoop Dogg being involved and with his commentary, the way that people loved the first time, hey, I don't see it going anywhere. I don't see it. I see it continue anywhere negative. I see it going to a positive, because people love that.
Well, and I think as long as the matches are competitive and real, these are real fights. I mean, you watch the Tyson Roy Jones, obviously.
Yes.
And I think that was pretty obvious that was not like all out. An all out brawl. They were controlled.
It was obvious. It was obvious Mike kind of was holding back a bit. But I wasn't mad at that. You know what I mean? People would have, I'm sure somebody somewhere would probably, man, oh, he should kill him. And it's like, we're legends. They're legends.
Yeah.
It doesn't put an extra notch on Mike's belt to go in there and murder Roy,
Right.
Let's get these people let's just get these people what they want to see. They want to see both of us in here going at it a little bit. But we can completely see, Mike is here. So does Mike just crush him? No, just go ahead and do what Mike did. Mike still gave him work, man. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah. And Roy did his thing. Roy got in some good shots. But when you're a legend at that level, man, that was all respect. That was good. It was good for us to just finally see them two in the ring. I paid $99 for that.
Yeah. It still gave the fans that know boxing what they expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Which is good.
Totally did.
But these are legitimate fights. There's no holding back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, I wasn't told to hold back. I mean, Frank Mir's, he's going to go for it. I'm here to enjoy myself and have fun. People are saying, oh, Cunningham's going to do this to Frank. And me personally, I hate that. I dislike that, Why? Because I'm so used to being the underdog. I'm so used to being, the guy in somebody else's backyard. I'm uncomfortable when people say that, I'm very uncomfortable. So, but who knows? It might be a Steve Cunningham might get in there, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones to Frank Mir. Who knows? You know what I mean? Frank, we'll see what he brings. What he brings, then, but I'm going to do my thing. Don't get it twisted.
Well, you can never underestimate, as much as, and that's what we're talking about. That's when you're not nervous, when you're not worried, that's when you can get caught,
Right.
That's when so you always got to be on your A game, but
always on your A game.
That.
And then this guy, he's 200, some 50 plus, same height as me, possibly. And I believe, and man, that's a threat in itself. He's a two-time UFC champion. He's a warrior. Yeah. No warrior's coming to lay down. No warrior's coming to lay down.
Those guys know how to take a shot.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So, so he does outweigh you by quite a bit.
Yeah, he does. But
it looks it.
He does. The weight isn't such a concern for me. I mean, it's part of our training camp is, hey, let's do this, let's do that. So the weight isn't a part of his tactic. But outside of that, you guys know I fought whoever.
Tyson Fury. Fury's about as big as they come.
As big as they come. Then Natui Basinia, he was about 269, about 6'3". You got Mansoor, 230 or 220 something. Everybody I fought as a heavyweight was bigger than me.
You're used to that.
Yeah, man. It's actually, I think those are the better, easier fights for me because there's only one thing that they can really resort to, and that's try to come lay on you. So
well, we talked about that's what Chris Bird always liked. He liked to be in the smaller, quicker, more agile guy.
It's smart. It's smart. I'd rather be a straight razor than a broadsword.
Yeah.
Straight razor. Cut you in the right spot. And you won't even see it.
So basically the past 2.5 weeks or so, you've been in Philly training.
I've been in Philly. Yep.
Yeah. What's that like going home and kind of reminiscent of the Rocky going back to Apollo Creed's old stomping grounds with the Eye of the Tiger? Yep. Did it feel a little bit like that going home?
That was dope. Yes, I did. I did. I had that. I even went to the Rocky statue and chilled Sunday. Really? It was beautiful. It was like 80 degrees. People were out there taking pictures. Yeah. So I just sat around and did a little quick video, but it was awesome. My nostalgic kind of quote unquote Rocky type moment was, at the gym, missing Brother Nazim though,
that was.
Yeah, that was
that's your first camp without him, right?
First camp without him, man.
That's got to be tough.
It's very tough, man. I don't know if I'm gonna I don't know how it's gonna be in there after the fight, before the fight. Who knows? I might cry. Because we were such a team, man. It wasn't just trainer and coach, man. That was my guy, like for real. So his nephew, Big John, is part of my team. Our team. I'm keeping the same team, and they were all family. So I got Coach Sharon. She's training me. That she was under the tutelage of Brother Nazim. That's why I kept her, because I'm like, she's team. It's all familiar information.
Right. A little bit of shorthand.
Right. We got Big Wi-Fi. He's in the corner, and he was at the gym, and he just was like, man, he just started tearing up talking. We were talking, and it started tearing up. It was like, hey, let's get back to work. But we all miss Brother Nazim, man. It's of course. We feel him here. He's here. We feel his essence. I'll say that much. Yeah. The knowledge that we're using, the tutelage, all of the stuff, man. That shows that he's still part of us, and I just want to take that into the ring. Not even just in the ring. That's a life thing, everyday man thing, or father, So, but we felt it though. We felt the absence.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm sure you'll miss his presence for fight night for sure, but it's great that he's got that team that's still there, and you're able to surround yourself with them and still feel that same kind of presence. That's
the thing with me, like a familiarity, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though the situation is, I'll use the word weird, because we're fighting in an audienceless, arena. It's just going to be a whole weird situation. I'm fighting an MMA fighter. Weird. We just got weird all over the place. Nazim's not here. I'm weird. It's weird. Yeah. Like, what the freak? But probably the job got to get done,
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a little bit surreal. Just like you say, everything's a little bit off kilter.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So fill everybody in on where the fight's taking place, when it's taking place. We'll put a link on the social pages where we can, but where we can't, give all of our listeners and viewers an idea of how to get plugged into it.
All right. The fight is taking place Saturday evening, 9:00, pay-per-view. Triller. Triller is the promoter. If you want any more information than what I give you, you can go to Triller on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. But I'm fighting against Frank Mir. Actually, we're doing a 6-round fight. They took the rounds down to 6.
Really?
Yeah,
all the same to you, right?
Huh?
All the same to you, right?
Yeah, it's all the same to me. Took the rounds down to 6, which is cool. We're the second pay-per-view fight. Fight's being held in Atlanta, Georgia. I forgot the name of the stadium, but it's in Atlanta, Georgia.
Is it Omni?
I think so. Yeah, Omni. There you go. April 17th, which is Saturday evening. So please tune in. Go into my Instagram, U.S.S. is Legend. Hit the link. You please buy the link. If you're gonna buy the link buy the pay-per-view from me. One of the links that I share. Cool. That'd be cool. And tune in, man. Tune in. It is boxing versus MMA. So we're just gonna have fun. I'm gonna get in there, and I just wanna, let's see where the rust is. There's gonna be some rust, but hey, let's see.
This is a good way to get back on track, right?
It is.
It really is a good scenario to kind of, like you say, just assess where you are and then take your next step.
Right. I mean, and my thing is, listen, I told him, I understand my position in boxing. I'll be 45 this year. I'll be 45 this July. I understand that. I understand. I've done this already. I've done it, done it greatly. I'm a legend. And I've got legendary fights out there.
For sure.
So I know that I'm not trying to go for any more world titles, none of that. I just want to do entertaining fights, you know? So if any more MMA guys want to come out the woodworks after this,
somebody try to get revenge for Frank Mir.
Right, hey, let's go. You know, it's entertainment time. You know, fruits of the labor. I put in the labor, man. Let's get some fruit now.
Well, you're well preserved, though. I mean, you've not really ever been beaten up. You take care of yourself outside the ring. You're always in shape. You never fluctuate in weight and all that stuff. All that stuff takes a toll on a fighter, and you've not really, gotten into all that.
Yeah, nah.
It makes a difference in age.
I love what I do, man. I love being in shape. Above a lot of stuff, man. And I got an 18-year-old who wants to turn pro. Yeah. ASAP. So I'm sparring with him. I got to be ready. I got to show my boys and the guys that I train what I'm saying. Right. Versus just tell them. Now they can see me do it. They see me do it in sparring at the gym. They see me do what I'm telling them to do. Now they can see it against Frank Mir. Oh. Yeah. Well, you learn better from that experience than just somebody talking it and not really living it. Yep. Yeah. Indeed. All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Philly's going to be behind you. You got PA behind you. And of course, your extended family here at Title. We're all rooting for you. We're going to be tuning in and watching. All right. Thank you guys, man. I really appreciate it. Same. Later, Steve. Take care. Tell Steve congratulations. I will do. All right. Later. Thank you for watching this episode of Title Unboxed. If you're anything like me, you can never get too much boxing. So if you'd like to watch more episodes, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and our Title Boxing YouTube page.